What is going on, everybody? How we doing? How we doing? Hopefully you can hear me. So we're going to see how this goes. Try to change it up on you, make you a little bit different angle. So you guys can see the cars in the back. Now just kind of sitting out by the garage door. So if you can hear me, just thumbs up in the chat, whatever you got. I'd appreciate it. That way make sure I haven't lost my mind and I'm actually working correctly. I would really appreciate it. I think there is a Cooper. What's going on, man? Hello, hello. Thanks for joining in tonight. I know I kind of made this post. Awesome. Glad it sounds good. I know I made this post pretty last minute this afternoon, around 11 or 12 o'clock, about going live. I should have done it earlier in the week. I meant to, but you know how that goes. So we're gonna wait a couple minutes here. We're gonna hang out, let some people join in. I know we've got. Again, last minute, I know it takes some people to come hang out. But we've got a lot of good stuff today, kind of hanging out here in the shop. I did some cleaning, so if you guys follow me on Instagram, Facebook, all that good social media stuff, I made some announcements about going live and the stuff we're going to be doing today. So if you are not following me on there, you need to make sure you do that. We also have a Facebook group where you can like share your pictures and all sorts of stuff you're working on, whatever that is. You can join that also. It's Garage Time TV. I think it's a Facebook group. I think it's simply what it is. But we do have several things to give away today. You know, it's the end of the year, end of 2023. Lots of good stuff we did this year. Two of which are sitting behind us, and some of which are no longer with us, which is very sad. But got to move on to the next person so they can enjoy them. But we've got some good stuff going on. Again, if you follow me on Instagram and Facebook, you would have heard a little while ago. But we do have plenty of stuff to give away today as our end of the year bash kind of thing going out here. I had done on the X19 video, we got a shift knob from Vic Auto, and we got two more to give away, but we've got a white one with black lettering, and we've got another black one with red lettering, which is what I have in the X. So we're going to give away two of those. Vic Auto Sports does sell these on their website, so if you guys don't win them today, don't worry, you can still pick one up from their website, vicauto.com, and pick one up. But I really like them, and it's a shift pattern of the X. It comes with like a little locking thing and everything, so we're going to be giving those away today. We've also got plenty of other stuff. We've got stickers, of course. We even have awesome little stickers, if I can pick it up here, of the X19. So we've got lots of those, black and white. We've got those. And then we've got koozies. We've got plenty of these to give away. I do have a few more of the black Garage Time TV shirts. You see me wear this one in a couple videos. So we have a couple of those to give away, different sizes, kind of the remaining sizes I have left when I first went and got them. But that's what I'm wearing tonight. It's a nice, little bit thicker shirt. Keeps you warm here in the garage. If you hear that sound off in the distance, that's the heater. I got it for Christmas. My wife knows I spend way too much time out here, and I freeze half to death with, I mean, you guys have probably seen videos with beanies and triple layered up and like a Carhartt jacket. And the worst part is you have to have your hands out. And so you slip that wrench and you punch your cold fist into a bowl. And that is just not a good time at all. So she's like, don't worry about it. I got it because I've been really wanting to get one of these, but it's one of those propane heaters. And it's working great. So if you hear that kind of humming in the background, that's what it is. Jason Sawyer, love your work. Still working on my 124. Painted it today. Not as good as I hoped. Uh-oh. Painting went bad. You have to tell more about what went bad on the painting. I am no body guy by any means. I did one car of body work. That was the 850, the first car on the channel. I did body work and painted that with Rust-Oleum. I never want to do body work again, even though I know it's probably inevitable. But the Rust-Oleum actually turned out pretty good. As far as I know, the guy that bought it from me still has it. The paint still looks good. Here we are 3 years later, almost 3-4 years. So I just buffed it, got the orange peel out of it, and it seemed to do okay. Looks good in pictures, at least. It's a 10 at 10 at 10 feet. So at least that's something. Anyway, so it looks like we got a few more people joining in. If you guys are just now joining the live stream, welcome. Thanks for hanging out with us. I apologize for late notice this afternoon on our social media accounts posting it, but we do have some stuff to give away today. I'm thinking we're going to be around for probably about an hour, kind of see what's going on out in the land of the internet, see what you guys got going on. Your projects, what you want to talk about, what kind of questions you have, stuff like that, and we'll throw in these giveaways, shirts and koozies and stickers and shifter knobs and all this good stuff throughout the stream. So, Splotch, you need to do a 3-coat and a half. That was my mistake with the 850 is I didn't pre-mix enough, and so I had to remix in the middle of it while some was starting to flash off. So I had like a little line, but yeah, balancing that paint, kind of knowing how much you need and blending it and all that stuff is just, that's a fine art, and that's why now I appreciate guys that do body work and charge the rates they do. Rogue, what's going on, man? Good to see you again. I know you've been on a couple of the live streams. Thanks for tuning in. A good first project car for a beginner. That is a very broad question. My first car was a 78 124, and I didn't know any better. Because the 78 is like a crossover year between fuel injection and carbureted, and they're mixing and matching parts, and it was a whole mess. But that's what I started with, and I learned a lot. I learned a lot on that car. Kind of depends what you like. Do you want American? Do you want European, which I am clearly biased towards? But what are you looking for? That might give us a little bit more of a kind of a goal of what you're trying to do and what you're looking for. Maybe some other people in the chat here have some suggestions for you, but of course we're all probably biased towards Fiats and maybe some Volkswagen people as well. Ernest, still show, love Fiat. A gold 85, originally gold and brown. So you have a Bertoni as well. Is it the two-tone where it's like brown on the bottom and gold on top? Because I think I've seen some of those, but I found this out much later that the Bertonis were painted this two-tone as part of making it different, I guess. So you see a lot of the blue. You see the black and white. So Jesse over at Eldest Builds, he's got a black and white one where it's black on the bottom and then white on top. Same interior, it's got that red and black combo on the inside. I've seen some with all black. I wish I kind of had that, but stuck with the red. MK Super 7, good choice. Some of the easier cars to learn on that don't need like a timing belt. It's like the 124, the X19, they require a rubber timing belt. Subaru engines, like what we did in the bus, requires a timing belt. And so if you don't get those timing marks lined up, then you're going to have a really bad day. But, like the 850 had a timing chain, so that was a little bit different. The 850 is a very simple engine. I actually really enjoyed that. I learned a lot of mechanical things on the 850. They're just not around as much, and the demand for them is kind of hit or miss. But I learned a lot of that engine mechanically, just because it was so simple. It was a 0.8 liter. Yeah, not even a whole liter. And man, that thing was so small. I think I have the video where I had like disassembled it on the bench, and I could just pick it up out of the car and put it on the bench because it's so small. My wife always gives me a hard time because she has a Harley, and our Harley is an 883, and the 850 had an 817. So her motorcycle had a bigger engine than the 850, but the 850, of course, is like 4 times the size. So she always gave me a hard time about that. Gold top, brown bottom. Okay, that's what I thought. Definitely 80s. Gold and brown is story of the 80s. But yeah, that's a pretty cool combination too. I like that. I think it's kind of iconic for the era. The blue, I really like the blue too. I'm actually really happy with the way that this car turned out. If you've seen the series on the X19, the day that we picked it up, it was covered in so much dirt and dust, and sitting underneath that carport for 10, 12 years did no favors to this car. I still think even to this day, when I go out for drives and stuff, I still have particles of like dust and dirt and whatever was crawling all over this thing, falling out from under the dash. I have to constantly vacuum the carpet over and over and over and over again. Even while driving around, I can feel the stuff fall on my feet, and it is really, really annoying. But I think 3 months after I had it here, so about halfway through where we are now, I was digging through the back hatch area because I was getting ready to put that back cover back on. And I look down to the left, and there's this massive mound. And I'm like, what the heck is that? Like, go and look, and it's like a mouse house that I've been driving around for 3 months. So that was part of the reason why it was so weird smelling. But I took my shop vac and sucked that thing out of there. And what do you know? It smells way better now. So, but lesson learned. Check all little areas. And I'm actually really surprised that mouse house didn't rust through the rear quarter panel, because it was just in that pocket right there, in that pocket there. It had been there for quite some time. Excellent, looking good. Road, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, the wash and keeping it in the garage has really done it some favors. There are still some imperfections in the paint, but I think that kind of tells the story. That's how it was with the 124, the black 124 we had. It was covered in like tree scratches, just because it was parked behind the guy's house, in a big tree row behind his fence. And so the trees would just sway and scratch this poor car up. And I was able to get a lot of those scratches out, but ultimately it was just a lot to get out. Some of them were pretty deep, but I left them as it was. I didn't repaint the car. I buffed it a couple times, and a lot of shine came through the original paint, but those scratches are not removable by any means. So, but the guy that bought it from me, as last I heard, he still drives it all the time. That black 124, the black widow, the black and red. He sent me a message probably about 2 months ago with just some updates, and it was really nice to hear about the car and know it's still being enjoyed and driven. And now that it's kind of colder, you can't really drive it. But it's nice to know that we did all that engine build and all those upgrades from VIX that we got and put it all together, and it's still running fantastic. So it's really good to hear that those are all still on the road. That's the whole goal. Where the Volkswagen Rabbits are, fun and easy to work on. You know, I've never worked on a Rabbit personally, but when you think of, I guess it also helps with what kind of decade you're looking for. But if you went with even a Beetle, an air-cooled engine, they're really straightforward. I think you can run an air-cooled engine with 4 wires, maybe 5. Maybe 5. If you could, I did it on a table. I have one of my folding tables, and I think we did a will it run on an air-cooled engine, and I got it running on a table with a jump pack and a couple wires. So if you're trying to learn like basics and intro, that's actually not a bad place to start with something like air-cooled or something like that. Gold cars love you. If they walk into your life and you just can't pass on them, what are you gonna do? You gotta have it. How hard was that to sell? So much work. I hope to keep mine a while. Yeah, it was a lot of work, especially because we washed the cylinders. When we were going to Vic's open house, we were going to do our first start after all the rebuild and all that work. And there was just so much fuel that was dumping and stuff was stuck open. The cold start injector was stuck open. It was just flushing fuel and filling that intake full of fuel in the intake manifold. And it washed the cylinders, and I did not want to run that. So we had to rebuild the engine all over again, like a rapid pace. So we rebuilt it all over again, and then we got it fired up. I was really disappointed to not get that fired up and started at VIX. I was so disappointed. That was going to be a lot of fun with all those people there. I had a really, really good time. But it was, I think it took me about 3 months, 2.5 months. We'll just say 10 weeks, 10 to 12 weeks to get it sold. I ended up selling it for right around what I wanted out of it. I got the content out there for you guys, and I think I came out all right. It just it took some time, and I'm just glad that the guy that got it still enjoys it. I think it's really the big part. Is the whole goal is to save these. We want to keep them on the road and keep them going. This one, prime example, it was sitting underneath that carport forever with a locked up engine that's still over there on an engine stand in front of the bus. Maybe you can see a little bit of it over there. But the last video where we took the head off of it, that engine was locked solid. And luckily it came with this other engine, and here we are back on the road. So the X is something I've always wanted. So we're going to keep that for quite some time. And I've always wanted a bus. I've always wanted a bus. It's so iconic. And I'm really happy I got one before all of them went really through the roof. Prices were going up quite a bit, especially with COVID and everything. So I'm glad I got one when I did. Is it perfect? Nah. Do I still run into issues? Yeah, sometimes. But I just really enjoy driving it, and it gets a lot of attention, and it's good for the channel, for recognition, stuff like that. And people really enjoy it when I go to shows, and people always have stories. That's what I really like about old cars the most is even the X19. I'll be driving I drive it to work maybe once every other week, something like that. And it's always on the way home. Someone will flag me down and pull up next to me at a stoplight, and man, what is that? And maybe I thought I knew what this was, or what is it, and how did you get it, or all that kind of stuff. And it's really cool to just educate people on what these cars are. So it's a really good time. That's really a big part of why I like doing this, besides just keeping me busy and out of trouble. How's the HOA? Look, I'm not a fan of HOA, obviously, because things are a little quieter here in the garage, and I'm slightly sad about that. But that also means that in the future, okay, sorry. When the wife texts, you must read the text. But yeah, it's much quieter around here, and I have not gotten a letter since. So I think we're doing okay. Yeah, boo. Boo is right. We do not like HOAs at all. They are not our friends. So here we are, about 15 minutes into it. Again, I wanted to try and do about an hour long. What's up, Nick? Good to see you, man. With the new Fiat. Hey, I am too. I love driving this thing. It's an absolute blast to drive, and I was able to take my parents in it when they're here over the weekend. I posted a short video, a reel on Instagram of my dad trying to get in it. My dad is 6'8", and so he's about 3.5 inches taller than me, and he got in there, but his knees were like up on underneath the steering wheel. He wasn't going to be able to go anywhere. So, but I'm glad you're here, Nick. Good to see you. I know you have your Alpha. I've been seeing you. I've been following you up on your Alpha. So I got the chrome headers and luckily no HOA. Yeah, must be nice. That's our goal, is move away from HOAs, and in like a few years we're going to save up some money and we're going to go somewhere where I can get a big metal building and fit like 4 or 5 cars, and I'm going to save my back with the lift. Now the downside is I'm kind of tall, in case you didn't know that. And so a lift, to get underneath it, I'm still going to have to hunch over, but at least I'm not going to be crawling around on my back. So, all right, where was I? Oh, so we're about 15 minutes in. For those of you that have joined late, welcome, welcome. We're going to start giving some stuff away. And the koozies work, obviously. But we've got all sorts of good stuff. We've got shirts, some koozies, stickers, and the shift knobs. So I think since we are in the first 15 minutes, we'll do a shirt and koozie combo. So I've got one of these like random chat selector things like that all the big streamers use. Anything the X of the Firo. That and an MR2. I get MR2 a lot too, and that's definitely not. So we're going to do a shirt. I've got, this is an extra large. I don't think I have any larges left. I've got extra large and medium, I think. So if you win, you need to send me an email. I'll type it here in the chat for you. My cozy. Well, you're also in California, so you can drive it every day. Like some of us. Luckily, the heat in this thing is really good. And the AC, I mean, did the AC video, and that was really good too. Got down to like 40 degrees, I think is what it was, or 45. Super cold, which is great. And the heat is awesome. Within, 10 minutes, I've got to turn it down because it is way hot. I mean, the cabin is only, the size of a Rubbermaid box, but, All right, so I'm going to put my email. It's in the chat, so I just put that in there. So I'm going to do one of these random generators, and it's going to tell me who is going to win the shirt, and I think we'll throw in a koozie with it, and then we'll make it a little fun pack here for you. So we've got a Garage Time TV sticker. We're going to do one of the Vic Autosport stickers, and then we'll do the X19 sticker. So this is a big one for those of you that came on time. I appreciate you. Those of you that happen to make it within that first 15 minutes, welcome as well. So we've got some of the X19 stickers. I got a black one. I've got these. This is the logo that I've got on the merchandise website for like shirts and hats and stuff. Now I've got a white version of it. I know it's going to be kind of tough to see, but a white one and a black one, and then all the good sticker pack here, and shirt and drink sleeve, koozie, whatever you want to call it. All right, so we're going to see out of those of you in the chat who is going to win it. Let me run this little thingy here and do some doodabbing and see what kind of magic we can do. All right, Nick, I'll fix your AC. Yeah, right. I am no AC guy. I happen to get lucky by changing that compressor, but I'll see you when you get back. All right, random generator. So our winner is going to be, what is that? Oh, the walls are moving because it's getting warmer in here. All right, so Jason Sawyer, you are our first winner. Congratulations, Jason Sawyer. So you're going to get yourself your shirt. Just send me an email. I'll put it there in the chat. And then you'll get your koozie. I put all your stickers in the koozie. So you are our first winner there with all the awesome stickers. So make sure you send me an email. If you don't send me an email, I can't send you anything. So make sure you do that. And I can get all that out to you. So congratulations on winning and joining the live stream tonight. I really appreciate you being here. While testing on the Dragon, mistaken for a Thunderbird. A Thunderbird? Like what year? Like the newer ones, like the early 2000s ones, the big round headlights and the hard tops. I could possibly, I don't know, I guess if you don't really know what your, I don't know. Just because it's got round headlights doesn't mean it's, you know, any other round headlight car. Older version, like the 60s, but don't they have like 4 headlights on those? I don't know. I'm going to have to look that up later because I just don't see the connection. Anyway. Awesome, so excited. Awesome. Jason, I'm so glad you're excited for that. That is some good stuff. These Garage Time TV shirts are like the first edition before we moved on to our official merchandise website. That's in the description of this video. That's got the X19, the 850, the 124, and all sorts of good stuff. They've even got some of these hats. So like I got one of these, like a trucker hat style. I wear it all the time, as you can tell. But got dirty already. Clean this thing. But yeah, we've got hats and all sorts of good stuff. I've got some shirts with the X19 on it. So it's going to be all good stuff on there. The I need my garage time, you know, all those. Also, the bus is on there. You know, I saw somebody that had gotten those, and I saw them for the first time in person. They look really, really good. And I've gotten one of the duffel bags and all sorts of stuff. It's really good stuff. So if you guys are interested in that kind of thing, it's down in the description for you. Don't get greedy now. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Anyway, so as we are moving along here, we are moving into 2024. And so I said in the video description that there's going to be some updates. So in those updates, we are clearly out of space. Because we've got the bus, which is not going anywhere, and the X, which I've always wanted one. And that's not going anywhere either. So now the dilemma is, well, what do we do now? So as we know, as mentioned earlier, our HOA is not the most forgiving kind for all things automotive because they like to crush all of our hopes and dreams. So if we were to bring something else in, that means one of these would have to be parked outside. So when I was working on the bus, when we were working on Elsa in that series, and it took up like all the garage space so it couldn't park the black 124 in here, I put the 124 under a car cover just to make sure it was more watertight. And I even got a letter about that. Yeah. There's a guy in the neighborhood. He's got like a tricked out Corvette, and he parks it outside, and he has it under a car cover, and he got a letter too. And they say if it's under a car cover, we assume it doesn't run. Like, really, that guy's got like a $50,000, $60,000 Corvette under that thing, and he's not allowed to put a cover over it. So anyway, I had to take the cover off, and that was a whole debacle too. So if we park one of these outside, we're not going to be able to really cover it. Now, we could cover it on, you know, like bad weather days, like if it's going to rain or drizzle or whatever, a freeze, you know, whatever that is, and then take it off the day after or 2 days after and just kind of off on, and maybe we can get away with it. But what do you all want to see next? That's ultimately what I'm trying to get to is what do you want to see next? We've done an 850, we've done a 124, we've done the X19, which is basically done. I mean, it needs new carpet. If you guys really want to see a video on new carpet, I'll get carpet. We can do that. and some sound deadening probably. And then we did a series on the bus. So what do you want to see next on the channel? Do we want to go domestic? Do we want to do, like Jesse's working on a 40s pickup truck right now? Do you guys want to see maybe something from the 50s pickup truck? Or do you want to see kind of what some other YouTubers do is they'll go get a car, get it running, or will it run, those kind of things. People tend to like that. Will it run, dress it up a little bit, go through the systems, do like a refresher on the brakes, go through the brake system, a little tune-up on the engine, timing, plugs, wires, stuff like that. Some rough repaints if it needs it, and then it's kind of flipping it and moving it on. Or do you guys like the full build series like these, where there's videos about different sections of the build? I mean, y'all give me the feedback. Y'all are the ones that watch stuff, so I want to know what y'all like and that kind of thing. Just because at this point we don't have the space for something, so I've got to get creative. So if we are going to keep moving content into 2024, it's going to need to be stuff that doesn't keep these outside for very long. So we'll have to see. But I just want to hear from you guys what you're thinking there. What do you think of other small wedge-shaped mid-engines, a TR7 or TR8? I like the TR7s and TR8s. I saw one probably about 2-3 months ago at like a Cars and Coffee thing. It was clean. Really nice car. When I look at those kind of cars, all I get are like the MGs or the MGBs or the midgets or stuff like that. And I'm like, that's not what I want. But the people that have like a TR7, TR8, they know what they've got. So they like to hold on to those. But that's something that I could do too, is move into like the British world, keep it European. A pickup truck, all right. My wife would like that one. She wants a 50s pickup truck. An Alpha, what kind of Alpha? Like an Alpha Spider? It's almost like a 124. It's basically the same thing. The engine's almost identical. Almost. It's not identical, just almost. It's got the twin cam. And it's pretty close. I know Nick, who was just here a second ago, he's got an Alpha. He's got a late 70s Alpha, I think. And he's got a good car. He's done a lot of good stuff on that. American muscle car, road race car. Man, you always want me to do a race car. Every time I talk about what do you want to do next, you want me to do some sort of you wanted me to do a wide body kit on this thing. Like, look at this all original paint. You think I'm going to tear this up and do a wide body kit on this? You're insane. But I do like the idea of something American. So maybe something with like a 50s maybe. People tend to like those as far as doing maybe an engine swap. If it's got like a straight 6, drop in a small block and then do a quick paint on it, just like we did for the 850. Go through the brakes, move on to the next one. People tend to like that. The TR7 is front engine. It's not like the X. I've looked into like 60s and 70s. What about like the land yachts, like the LTDs, your Gran Torinos, your the Pontiacs, stuff like that. The big long ones, the land yachts. You know what I'm talking about? Super long hoods, super big trunks. You can fit like 10 people in the back of them, stuff like that. Maybe some of those. The only problem is, I don't know if that's going to fit in here. The thing is so long. Those cars are like 15 or 17 feet long. It's something nuts. And the X is, it's okay. I think the bus is, Elsa is, I think, 13 feet long, I think. So it kind of gives some perspective. This is just a regular 2.5 car garage. So 60s Thunderbird or a Mustang. My wife has a Harley. How about a bike? Thunderbird and Mustang. The thing about the Mustangs is the demand for them out here is pretty high. So just to get like a starter, you're gonna spend like $3,000 on one that doesn't even have an engine. That's Texas for you. If I was out in like Mississippi somewhere and go cruise the back roads, I could find one for $800. That's a little different. A 60s Thunderbird. I did see a Thunderbird on Marketplace not too long ago. It was actually pretty good. That's another one of those like longer cars. And I think Thunderbirds have a pretty tight following too, so maybe that's a good option too. I like the idea of a bike. As far as like space constraint, that's a good idea. My father-in-law wants to do a motorcycle, like an old motorcycle from like the 60s or the 70s. And that's something that can easily be done, moving a car in and out when we want to work on it. And just tuck the bike up and move some of this stuff out of here, wherever I can fit it. That's not a bad idea. I do like the bike idea. Nothing better than a road race car that carved Canyon Road and cruising the Fort Worth. Hey, I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing with a road car, a race car, a mountain climbing car. I'm not disagreeing at all. But not this one. A Lancia Scorpion? Good luck finding one. One of the guys in our car group had one and he sold it, but that thing was like really good shape. I don't know if I'd ever be able to find one. You have to go to like bring a trailer and deal with all that, and then you got to deal with shipping it and all that stuff. I'm trying to like go an hour outside of town and find something and bring it back. But on the note of this road rally car and things like that, there is another X19 for sale about 45 minutes from here. He's got it for a really good price. It will not stay running, but it's a carbureted version, which tells me it's pre-79. He's got it listed as an 81, but that's definitely not correct. But I think it's probably like a 76, 77, because it's got the same style, big, chunky, ugly bumpers. So it's post 75, somewhere between there, 75 and 79. I'd have to look a little closer. But he's had it listed for quite some time, and he doesn't have it running. And just on starting fluid, it will. He put a new battery cables in it, and said it fired up on starting fluid, whatever that means. But with this engine being locked up, I was really thinking that engine was going to be the original one in this car. I really thought that was going to be fine, and we were going to work through it and rebuild it. I was going to make a really good series on that, but not anymore. I think it's just a glorified boat anchor. But if I was to do that X, is that something that you guys would want to watch? Is that something that you guys would like? That one, if it's got everything in it, then it's an easy, I don't want to say easy, but it's a pretty straightforward. Get it running, clean out the gas tank, fuel pump, get the carburetor set, timing set, and it's an ugly, ugly yellow color. I mean, it's definitely a respray. You can see where it was red underneath, and somebody just like sprayed this highlighter yellow on top of it. It's really bad. But it looks like everything is there. It's got both bumpers, headlights, it's got everything there. So I think the radio is missing. But anyway, that could be an option. Get another X19 up here. Oh, American Muscle, 70s Mustang, Camaro, Trans Am. Yeah, the following of those drives up the price insane. Camaros, there was one that was like a rusted out shell. Guy wanted like $8,000. You've lost your mind. But I mean, this is just scrolling through Marketplace, so who knows what they'll actually take. So that's a whole other thing. But an Abarth X19. So I thought about that too, is if we got that X19 out in Pearland, about 45 minutes from here, we could take the engine out and do like a full-on thing, a full other project on that. Again, that just takes one of these cars out of the garage. That one, and we could strip it down and we could paint it. It would be kind of cool if we did. So I'm just doing a spitball here. This is off the top of my head because the Abarths got my mind going. So I know the Abarth 600s were white with like a red pinstripe down the middle. That'd be pretty cool if we sanded down that X off that awful respray, painted it white, which is pretty forgiving as far as like driveway and these kind of conditioned paint jobs, and then just do a red pinstripe down the side and end at the very back above between the bumper and the wheel well with like an Abarth right there. That'd be kind of cool. And then soup up the engine, do higher compression pistons, a better cam. Maybe we could put the stainless exhaust back on that, stuff like that. Just an idea. About 500, 695, 750 with 1,000 bike. That's a pretty. I think a lot of people have done that, not on video at least, but have done stuff like that. Lots of great ideas. Especially with our space constraint being just 2 cars. You know, a 2-car garage is all we got. So don't let anybody tell you can't do it with what you got, because I've started out with less than this. So this is car number 5 in like 7 years of doing this stuff. So it's possible. Don't let people stop you. Man, it's already 6:35. We are going through this pretty quick. I don't want to keep missing out on opportunities to give stuff away. So we've got the shift knobs. These are the ones that I have in the X. So in this X19, I've got the black one with the red writing like this, where it's got the driver-friendly language on 5th gear. But the good thing about these is, you know, Vix has these for sale on their website. But what's great about these is they're heavy. So when you're shifting, it actually feels like you're got something. The original shifter is just kind of like a hollowed plastic, so it's not as, doesn't have the right feel, if that makes sense. Anyway, so let's give away the white one first. So we're going to give away the white one with the black lettering. Same exact shift knob as the one that I've got, but just white. It does come with the little locking thing to keep it directionally right. I think the threads will fit an X19 or a 124, but they are metric threads. So if you've got something else, you know, that could be applicable. I don't know. I mean, I couldn't use this in the bus because it's only got 4 gears. But. So we're going to give away the white one, and we'll throw in, of course, the stickers as well. Big Auto stickers. Huge thank you to them. They're the ones that donated these to the live stream for us to give away to you guys, for, you know, supporting the channel and keeping up with me and putting up with me for all these years, and as we grow. So thank you so much. A huge shout out to them. Make sure you guys support those who support us. And of course, we'll throw in the stickers of the X19, a black one and a white one for you as well. And I think just for good measure, why not toss in a koozie? You can never go wrong with a koozie, so we're going to do that as well. So we're going to throw everyone here. Make sure you're paying attention, because we're going to throw in, we're going to do the next giveaway here. Give me just a second. So, drum roll. I can't do that because it's cold. So our winner of the next package is going to be Ernest. Ernest Finch, you are our next winner for the giveaway. You've got the white shifter with the koozie and all of the stickers. So congratulations, Ernest. Make sure you send me an email with your information so I can ship this out to you and get that to you. I put my email in the chat earlier, so make sure you send me an email so I can get that out to you pretty quick. Sooner the better. That way I don't have to hold on to it forever. Ouch, what are you ouching for? There's nothing to be ouching about. Well, speaking of a scorpion, I've got a scorpion of that sticker as well. We'll probably throw one of those in our current 2 winners, being Ernest just winning the white shift knob, and Jason winning the shark koozie and sticker package. So, again, make sure you 2 send me an email. Anyway, so the next coming up content that's coming to the channel for you guys as we're in between cars is we're going to do a little bit more on the bus. I know that didn't seem to be as popular with everyone on the channel, but since we want to use use Elsa for camping, the next thing we really need to do is start framing out some shelving. So I started, let me reach over here. I started rough drafting some designs for cabinets with my 5-year-old style drawing. Don't judge me. And so we're going to start roughing that. I think we're going to start working on the next. I got a really nice Yeti for Christmas, which is way more than I wanted. I was just cool like a normal one, but my parents went over and above for my birthday, and so they got me one. So we're going to use that as like our fridge in the bus. We're going to build kind of framing and stuff like that. So that's probably going to be coming up next on the channel. So you guys stay tuned for that. Make sure you guys hit the notification bell down there. That way you always know when new content comes out and stuff like that. and you can be up to date with everything that's going on. Also, make sure you guys are following me on Instagram and Facebook. We have our Facebook group. Share your pictures, your story, what you're working on, questions, whatever you got. That's probably the best way to interact with me is through our Facebook group, so make sure you do that. Stick with the Italian theme of Vespa. A whole like 50cc, 75cc. When I was first learning how to, this is a really funny story actually. I'll tell you just really quick. I won't divulge too much or divert or go down this rabbit hole. That's what I'm trying to say. Is the one of the first things I ever learned to work on was like a Honda Spree, I think is what it was, and it was like a 48cc, so it was just under needing all those crazy road rules. And so I learned how to work on that thing, and so that Vespa brings me back. Brings back some memories on working on that. So, but yeah, I don't know about a Vespa. I don't know if I really want to get in a small engine like that. I think a motorcycle is something that's a little bit bigger. So, but anyway, so we'll probably be working on cabinets on there. I have never built cabinets in my life, so they're not going to probably be the most pretty things to look at, but they're going to work. In theory, at least they're going to work. So that should be coming pretty soon for you guys. The Italian theme. I would love to do a 500, but man, I cannot fit in one of those. At Fiat Freak Out 2022, 2021. When was that? 2022. Anyway, the one that was here in Texas. I got to drive a 500 at Freak Out, and my knees were in my chin. There's no way I could drive a 500, so I'm going to have to pass on that. But there weren't any, I mean, I'd love to do like a 128. That'd be kind of cool. Cafe racer bike. You love the speed, man. All about the speed and all the power. I mean, I don't blame you. It's fun to drive those kinds of things. But, what else? What y'all got for me? I keep sitting here blabbering about other stuff. Y'all got questions? Y'all got what you got? Let me know. I'm here for you. We're getting ready to close out 2023. Was there something you wanted to see that we haven't done yet? There was something that we did that you really liked, and I need to do more of. Let me know about that. Because a lot of these things, I'm just kind of shooting from the seat of my pants. I'm just kind of going for it, and I'm just like, well, maybe we'll do this one. Question is, what is the theme and budget? Well, budget is as cheap as we can get it. But I also, I've got to be real. I don't know. There's so many cars out there, but I also don't want to sit on something. You know what I mean? I want to get a car that's so unique. That's what happened with the 850. The 850 I had for a long time because people didn't know what it was. Your average person doesn't know what a Fiat 850 is. They do know what a Mustang is, and a Camaro, and a Cadillac. They know what those are. So it kind of makes me want to do stuff like that where we can get a car that's halfway decent. It's got the engine, got the transmission, maybe missing a radiator, something like that. Get it up and going, rival, do some minor work on it, and then pass it on to the next guy to enjoy it. These cars are great, and they take a lot of time, and a lot of the videos are more focused on little details of stuff. And what I've noticed is stuff that covers several things in one video tend to get a little bit more viewership. So I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. My dream car. So I've always wanted a bus. Bus is one of my top cars I've always wanted. I never wanted an X because I didn't know what it was until I drove one. So I think it's my most viewed video is where we took the red X19 to a Fiat car meet. We all got together. That was a really good time. And hey, how you doing? Welcome. And so the time I drove that red X19, my friend Kevin owns it, and I was sold. I had to have one. And it all worked out to where I came into this one. I definitely don't want to get rid of it because this thing is super reliable. It's deceiving. I take it all over the place. I did a couple of days of just running errands, stop and go, a bunch of traffic, holiday shopping with this thing. I mean, the storage isn't really the greatest for holiday shopping, but it got the job done. So that's really what's important. But I could like daily drive that X if I really wanted to. I really like driving it. Trouble is I have to drive without a shoe because the pedals are so tight you can't, get in there all the way. So, if I had to go from there, man, I don't know. That's maybe I need to reevaluate here and see what I do want to do for a dream car project. Because I did the bus. I mean, it's not done, but the Subaru engine is fantastic. Driving in that thing, I can get up to about 40 miles an hour in first gear. That's how strong that engine is. I don't do that all the time, obviously, but that was a really good choice on my part. Hey, Dennis, welcome. I was wondering where you were. I know you're always at these things. A TR6? Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Is those cars, a TR6, 7, 8, people love those things and hold on to them. But, maybe if I do a little bit more digging, more than just the surface level stuff, maybe I can find one, something like that. What about like, I feel like everyone does it, but like a 70s Ford F100, you've got the square bodies, stuff like that people tend to like. An Opel GT. Man, every Opel I've found, people want like a little on the high side, but it's just like gone. Absolutely gone. I don't know what people did back then, but they rode them hard and put them up wet. I mean, they're bad. N65. How do you drive that X? Pedals are so close. Okay, so Jason, I have to take off my right shoe, and I can drive with my left shoe for the clutch, to engage the clutch, and I use my right foot without my shoe to hit the brake and gas, and that's how I'm able to drive it. But if I have a shoe on, like the fringes of my shoe catch on both pedals, and so I have to drive without my right shoe. Otherwise, I can't do it. A Capri, love the 850. Thank you. Kind of off-road truck. I like that. Maybe one thing I really want is a 4-door square body. A 4-door square body pickup would be like on my top 5 list of what I want. That would be a really good one to do like a small lift on, get a little bit bigger tires, do a tune-up on. Those are still, I think, relatively available. Just depends on like the rust. You know what I mean? Drummer shoes, yeah. Or worse, like slip-on shoes, so they're really easy. But I thought about doing that, but they're just so big. That's one I would have to do in the driveway. But that means I've got to be clean. And all of you know I am not good at being clean when I work on stuff. It just explodes everywhere, and then I have to spend all the time cleaning up. But yeah, I think that'd be kind of cool. I've thought about getting a tow pig, like a car that goes and tows all the projects home. So maybe the first thing we do need to do as we branch out into these things is get a square body truck or a 4-door Ford or whatever, and get something like that and lift it a little bit, and then we can use that to go get other projects and small upgrades over time on something like that. I know there's a lot of other channels that do stuff like that. It'd be kind of cool. There is a guy that they would not like this. Yeah, they wouldn't like the sound, but as long as it's got a decent exhaust on it, they can't be too mad. And a square body's not going to rep to 6,000 RPMs like an X. So I think I have that on my side. This is a problem. It's a real addiction, I tell you. We've got so many options out there in the world, and we've got to pick and choose in order of what I want to do. 80s Mustang GT, I was one of those. Oh, like a Fox body. I think those are still around a lot. People really use those for like drag cars and stuff like that. It's not a bad idea. I think they were all 2-door. Were there 4-door? I don't know. Somebody knows. Was there a 4-door Fox body? I don't think so. I think they're all 2-door. What about like a wagon? That'd be kind of cool. Like an old 70s wagon or something like that. See, this is the problem. I just want it all. Yeah, I thought so. No, okay, I didn't think so. I know some things, but working on European cars all the time, you just can't know it all. The '69 Olds Tornado 4-barrel 455 is a car from '50. How do you go from a Fiat 850 to a '69 Oldsmobile with a 4-barrel big block? That is like night and day. Less than a 1-liter engine to that. That is a huge transition. I never knew you had one of those. That's go from a little tiny glorified golf cart to a boat. A Fiero, yeah. There's I don't know if any of you have seen Fingerprints Workshop. He did a whole series on a Fiero, and I watched him from the beginning. I think he's in my town, on the other side of town, but I recognize a lot of stuff in his videos. But I think he's in my town. But he did a really, really good Fiero series. 850 got me no girls. What? You're telling me the ladies don't like fine Italian craftsmanship and they want just a big, roaring 455? Shame on them. I had no idea what they're missing. But in all fairness, my wife didn't like the 850 either. So, but she had no choice because she was married to me. So she was stuck with me. A Ford Fairlane? Yeah. See, now you're talking. A Fairlane. I like the 50s, with the hardtop convertibles, but those are mucho dinero. Fairlane would be good. I think you can't really go wrong with any of those just kind of sedans from like the 70s. Go from like the LTD to the Gran Torino to all those kinds of things. I really like the Dodge D100s also, the Dodge trucks, but the Dodge's wiring is so weird. And their engine is the leaning tower of power. Those are all kind of weird. Definitely be different. But I thought about going to American. I think some people like that. Kind of get a little bit of variety. And, we've done the Power 3 Italian cars, so I've conquered those 3. But I want to keep one. So. Man, 6:50. Time has flown. Let's we've got a few more minutes here. We've got the black shift knob left. We'll do the same deal with the black shift knob with the freaking fast 5th gear to the Datsun. Actually, that's really good. Well, let me come back to that because I want to do this first. We're going to do the shifter, and then we'll do the same sticker package with the koozie as the white one. This is the one that I have in my car. Same thing, has the lock tab and everything. So we're going to do that. Okay, so we're going to do that one with a sticker package, koozie, all the good stuff on that. And we're going to go here. All right, drum roll, and our winner is Cooper. Cooper, hey, being patient this whole hour you're hanging out here, you finally pays off. So Cooper, you're going to get the black shift knob with the koozie and the sticker package as well. So make sure you guys send me an email for those of you that have won, so you can claim a prize. So congratulations to you, sir. A Datsun. Anyway, back to the Datsun. Datsun. So yes, actually, a Datsun would be great. 240Z, a 260, a 280Z would be fantastic. But because I know a place where I've got a lot of parts for Elsa, has a lot of those like parted out. So that would be really good to do also, and people really like those. That's one that we could do pretty simple too. I think they've got a straight 6. Maybe it's a 4-cylinder. Is it a 6-cylinder? Maybe that's a 6-cylinder option. Obviously, I don't know enough, but a Datsun would be cool. I wouldn't mind doing a Datsun. Do a clean up of the engine, clean up interior. If it needs a paint, do a quick paint job on it, something like that. I'm not opposed to that. Not a bad idea. Yeah, Datsun, stuff like that. Y'all have been giving me a lot of really good ideas. I'm very, very grateful and very appreciative of it. As we're an inline six. Okay, so I was right the first time. Thank you for clarifying that. So as we're winding up here, I just want to say thank you. I'm super grateful for all the support and the viewing and buying the merchandise on our website. The links down below in case you didn't know. But buying the merchandise, we've got that 10% off coupon for LED headlights for whatever classic car you drive. They've got some on there for you to save you some money. We did them on the X and on the bus. But I'm super, super grateful for all of you for watching the channel, supporting everything I do. Follow me on social media and being encouraging as we go through these things, and all for the love of the car. And I never expected this to get to the point that it is, to where we're live streaming for people who actually want to hang out. It's kind of weird. When I first started with the 850, I couldn't find any information on it. And so there was no YouTube videos on it or anything like that. There was some stuff for the 124 when I first started, not a whole lot. And so I was like, well, if nobody else is to do video on it, well, then I'll just do a video on it. And that's kind of what started the channel was the 850 and putting more information out there, because it just was absent. There's a lot of absent information on the X19 too. So, but again, I'm just hugely thankful and very, very appreciative, and I can't thank you enough for watching and subscribing and liking, and commenting on stuff, and it really does make a difference. And we're getting pretty close here to encroaching on 2,700 subscribers. 2,700. Wow, it's pretty wild. There's 2,700 of you that say, "Yep, I want to watch more of his stuff." This is a hobby I do here, and being patient with me on those weeks where I just can't get a video out and stuff like that. But thank you so much. I'm glad it's a resource for you. I appreciate your kind words. Thank you so much. When I first started, some people were pretty ruthless, and that put a damper on me for a little while, where I didn't want to keep going. But I said, you know what? It's my car. I'm going to do what I want with it, and kept on trucking. So there's always going to be someone who's not going to like what you do, especially those of you that are working on your own projects right now. I'm sure there's stuff that you're doing that you want to do for your car, custom or otherwise, that somebody else doesn't like. So, Cooper, thank you so much. We're down in here last couple minutes. If you've got any last minute questions or anything like that, Dennis. Oh yeah, Jesse over at Eldest Builds. I mean, he's come over a couple times. He's helped me with my 124 when we welded the oil pan or floor pans, and then we did that automatic transmission swap for that guy a few months ago on that 124. We did that in 48 hours, a solid 48 hours, from a running driving manual 124 to a running driving automatic 124 in a weekend. Nope. Not today, compressor. Not today. Anyway, a weekend. If you haven't seen that video, you definitely need to. Jesse's a hoot. Jesse's a really good guy. He's only about an hour for me. We need to do more content together, so I need to get back with him. He's got his X. He's just waiting on the engine to get finished up, because he blew a head gasket. So he's getting a lot of good work done to his engine, and this is going to be pretty sweet. But like I said, last couple minutes here. I just want to be super thankful. I appreciate all you guys. If you got any last minute questions, drop it in here. We've only got a couple minutes left. I want to make sure I answer your questions. Those of you that have won some of the giveaways and stuff, I've got my emails in the chat, garagetimetv@gmail.com. Just reach out to me and I'll get you those prizes, mail them out to you so you guys can enjoy them. Carl, I was wondering where you were. Just now tagging on the end. All right. I'll stay a little longer because Carl just started. Just for Carl. Can't say net everything. You can never say I never did anything nice for you. That's what I'm trying to say. A gold 85 280ZX that needs a windshield. Hard to find. Okay, so Ernest, I've got a source for you for a windshield. So the place that I get the used parts for Elsa, it's called Pinemont Auto Parts. It's in Houston, Texas. And the guy has probably 20 Datsuns in his lot. And I'm sure over half of them have windshields. And he ships, but I don't know about shipping a windshield. So if that's something you're interested in, you can Google him, Pinemont Auto Parts. Just a mom and pop place, super nice people. You can see if they've got one. But if you call them, just let them know that Marshall sent you, and they'll know. They know who I am at this point because I go there so darn much. But so let them know I sent you over there, and they'd appreciate that a lot, and I would too. Really good people. Again, mom and pop place, got to support your small places. All right, Carl, you missed quite a bit. You missed the giveaways. It's unfortunate. I think you've won on other streams before, though. But we were talking about other projects as the channel goes forward because we're running out of space. We literally have no space. So that's what we're talking about. Missing out. Eldest Builds videos the reference. Hey, that's great. JC, that is awesome. That makes me feel awesome. I'm so glad. And that's what it's about. Getting back on the road and driving them and enjoying them and saving them. Don't let the rust eat them, because they will. I don't do them a lot. Oh, the football game. Holy moly, you're right. Good call, Jason. Make sure you send me the email so I get you your stuff. Sorry, the football game just started. Holy moly. We're all on the struggle bus, aren't we? All right. I think that's going to do it for the stream tonight. I know it wasn't super exciting, but I appreciate you guys hanging out and joining with me here in the garage for a little while and enduring the sound of the heater. But it's a little cold outside, and there's no insulation on these walls. So we've got to put up with it for a little bit. But thank you guys so much. I am grateful as we end 2023. Going into 24, there's going to be a lot of great new stuff coming. Maybe a little bit of a change of angle of what we're working on, but we'll always be bringing you new content. We'll always try to do our best to get you a video every Friday at 6. That way you guys have something to keep you through the weekend and keep you busy and try and keep it consistent for you. Do my best. So thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. And look out for next week's video because we're going to be jumping on Elsa for her cabinetry to make it more camper friendly. So make sure you guys are checking out for that because we're going to start working on that this weekend, I think. So anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to keep dragging this out if I'm not careful. All right. Those of you that won, send me an email. There's good, useful links down in the description for the merchandise website, for the LED headlight coupon, the link to Jesse's channel, my friend Yogi over at Yogi's Garage. He's got a link down there. Really good guy. Make sure you guys check him out. Thank you guys so much. Thomas, thank you for hanging out. You guys have a great evening, a safe, happy new year. And I will see all of you in 2024. Make sure you follow me on social media. That way you guys can stay up to date with what's going on. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And until next time, we'll see you.